After 30 years working as a nurse, I've noticed something about people that I just can't unsee anymore. And once you notice it, you start seeing it everywhere in hospitals, in friendships, marriages, in workplaces, even in yourself. And it's exactly what I mean when I say what nursing reveals about people. Because when you watch human behavior for decades and under stress, you start realizing something strange. People think they hide their emotions really, really well. But the nervous system tells the truth long before the words do it. So I'll explain exactly what I mean in a minute. But first, let me tell you about a moment that made this click for me. So, for me, I had a patient a few years ago who was incredibly polite. Every time I checked on her, she'd just smile and say, "I'm okay, nurse," very calmly, very composed. But the interesting thing was that her body was doing completely something different. Her hands were clenched, her shoulders were tight, and I noticed that her breathing was really shallow. And I remember this thinking to myself, your nervous system disagrees with you, ma'am. So one day, I said, just gently, I approached her and I said, "Your body looks like it's holding a lot right now. Are you sure you're okay?" And no sooner than I'd finished saying those words, she just started crying. And it wasn't because something new happened, but because someone noticed what she hadn't said yet. So I'll ask you this. Tell me if you've experienced this. So, have you ever said, "I'm fine," but your body was anything but? Or even maybe you've noticed it in someone else. Someone says, "Yeah, I'm okay." They say they're okay, but something in your gut tells you, they're not okay. That's something nursing reveals. And nursing reveals this about people over and over again. I've been in the medical field now, as I mentioned, for 3 decades. That's even crazy saying that. The body leaks the truth in very, very tiny ways. And here's the strange part. Once you see this pattern as a nurse, you start seeing it everywhere else too. For instance, I'll give you an example. For me, I notice it in meetings, at family dinners, and in a lot of my friendships, mostly also in myself. Because there were days after like long, long nursing shifts that I'd sit in my car and suddenly I'd notice my shoulders were really tight. My jaw was clenched, but my body was also bracing like something was about to go wrong, even though nothing was happening. And that's when something clicked for me. See, what I've learned is that when you spend years being responsible for people, your nervous system learns to stay on high alert, even when you're technically safe. And this is the thing. This is the thing that nursing revealed to me about people, about human beings. Human beings are incredibly good at managing their images, right? Think about that. We're incredibly great at managing our image, but we're very, very, very terrible at hiding our nervous system. The nervous system always tells on us every single time. Every single time. I noticed it. Someone will say to me, "I'm not nervous." But then the thing is, their foot is tapping under the table, their foot is just tapping. You can just feel their foot tapping. Or they'll say, "Oh, no, I'm totally fine. I'm totally fine." But their shoulders are slowly climbing to the ears. And you know what I think of them as? It's like your shoulders are climbing towards your ears, like they're applying for a job as earrings. And once you start noticing these patterns, you won't unsee them. Pay attention. You'll see. I kid you not. You try and do that, and you're going to see. And one of the most surprising things I learned from nursing is this: people rarely need someone to fix their problems. Let that one sink in. People rarely need people to fix their problems. I'll tell you what they really need. What they need is someone who sees them accurately. People, and I mean people is you and I, want to feel seen and to feel emotionally safe. And I say this because when someone feels accurately seen and emotionally safe, something in the nervous system softens. Like you can literally watch it happen. You'll notice their shoulders will drop, their breathing slows, but the body finally feels safe enough to exhale. Has that ever happened to you? Yes, you just notice that you just when you're doing that, that means that your nervous system is starting to trust you and you're feeling safe. It's trusting you and feeling safe. Like, think about a time someone noticed something about you that you didn't even say out loud. Let's say, for instance, I'll give you an example. Maybe they said, "Oh, you seem so overwhelmed today," or, "Oh, you look so tired." And instead of feeling exposed, you actually felt relief because someone finally saw what your nervous system was already saying. Now, when I'm out in the world, I catch these moments constantly. And I know, like I sometimes joke to my husband and I say, I'm just people watching, but I can tell. Like someone might say, "Oh, I'm not stressed." But they're again, their foot is just tapping under the table, the coffee cup, they're moving it around, they're just scanning. And I'm starting there thinking, your nervous system has entered the group chat, huh? Yeah, that's why you're behaving like that. It'll tell on you. Just pay attention. You'll notice when you're people watching, just notice how people are sitting, their shoulders. And another habit that nursing taught me that changed how I look at people is this. I have learned to observe before reacting. It's very, very important for me to do that. And before assuming someone is okay, I also pay attention to that. Before jumping in to fix something, another thing I do is before telling yourself to just push through, that's another one. You have to pause and you have to ask yourself, or I challenge you to ask yourself, what's actually happening here? Sometimes the answer reveals something about the situation, and sometimes it reveals something about ourselves. I find that in me, at least, that there's a lot that it reveals. And I'm curious about something. What's one signal your body gives you when you're stressed? Even before your mind realizes it. Is it the shallow breathing? Your mind is racing, or your shoulders are tight? Let me know in the comments. I read all the comments and I respond to all of them. And honestly, I learn about from you. I learn a lot from your stories too in the comments when you share in your comments. And another thing is, I created this channel for us because I know what it feels to look like calm and capable on the outside. But on the inside, your nervous system is carrying a lot underneath. And I wanted a place where we could talk about these things honestly and feel safe. For those of you that don't know, my name is Sly. And if this is the kind of conversation you wish more people were having, I think you're going to feel at home here. And also, if this is resonating with you, which I hope it is, I've put together a playlist about the nervous system, emotional patterns, and the things that highly sensitive people notice in everyday life that other people don't. And if you're in the mood to go down a little YouTube rabbit hole today, you gonna find something in there that feels that. I don't know, I'm gonna say it feels like I pulled it straight from your journal, or Sly, you're reading my mind. And you're saying, yeah, something that I've always thought, I just didn't have the language for it. So I put together a playlist of the videos that I've recorded with you in mind to watch. And I want you to watch them when you walk your dog, when you're cooking for your kids or your family, cleaning, or even on your drive to work. And I'll put the link in the description below for you. And I want you to remember you're doing better than you think. Give yourself time, be patient with yourself, and see if you notice the patterns I just talked about in people when you're out there people watching. And I'll see you in the next one.